The Scorpion by Giovanni Stico. Copyright 2025. Episode 1. Return to Earth. 2070. The Pentagon Lieutenant John Reese steps out of his spacecraft, weary from the long journey back to Earth. He swiftly navigates the heavily guarded corridors of the Pentagon. This is no ordinary debriefing. He's been summoned for a mission of utmost secrecy. As he enters the dimly lit briefing room, he's greeted by his superior, General Jack Miller, and a few other high-ranking officials. "Welcome back, Reese," General Miller begins, his voice heavy with urgency. "We've got a situation on Osiris. Osiris was once a military stronghold until a coalition of alien species overran it. The remnants of the military intermarried with hybrids, creating a new population that now lives in the shadows of the old battlegrounds. Beneath the surface lies something of great value to the Secret Ops Agency, and Reese's mission is to retrieve it. You leave immediately," General Miller orders. "Good luck, Reese." John Reese's journey to Osiris is smooth until his aircraft suffers a critical malfunction, sending him crashing 150 miles off course. He survives, but wakes up a day later, surrounded by wreckage and the desert. With limited food and water, he builds a campfire to stay warm and tries to gather his thoughts. Then he drifts off to sleep. Then suddenly strange noises emanate from a nearby cave. The Scorpion comes out of the shadows. He is a terrifying-looking mutant, a man with the lower body of a scorpion. Once a soldier, now a monstrous survivor of the alien attacks. After a fierce battle, Reese manages to kill the Scorpion Man, but not without sustaining a cut on his leg, an injury that leaves him infected. Journey to Wasteland City with dwindling supplies. Reese heads towards Wasteland City, a settlement marked on his high-tech watch. The journey is harsh, the desert littered with remnants of a lost era. Skeletons and rusted artifacts tell the story of a long-forgotten civilization. A sign with bullet holes reads, "Wasteland City." Upon arrival, Wasteland City greets him with burning skull staff and rusting vehicles. Thugs and beasts linger outside a bar. Reese, hooded and weary, pushes through the crowd and orders a beer from the robotic bartender. He seeks sanctuary, and she directs him to a place 2 days' drive past the source where a wise mountain tribe might offer refuge. Brawl outside the bar. Their conversation is cut short as thugs confront Reese, leading to a violent skirmish. In the heat of battle, Reese undergoes a horrifying transformation. A scorpion-like tail sprouts from his back, his hands enlarge with razor-sharp nails. Despite the odds, he kills most of the attackers, leaving only a punker girl who escapes to inform her leader, Skullface. Escape and pursuit. Stealing a vehicle, Reese heads towards the source. Pursued by thugs and attacked by a UFO, he narrowly escapes. He travels through the eerie land of the dead, refuels, and finally reaches Zaria, a city of warriors and spiritual beings. Zaria. The inhabitants of Zaria, diverse in appearance and decorated with tribal tattoos, are wary of Reese. A beautiful woman with Polynesian-style tattoos and a wise shaman approach him. Recognizing him as harmless, they invite him into their cave. Inside, a painting of a man resembling Reese astonishes him. The shaman speaks, "We knew you were coming." Confused and intrigued, Reese begins to understand there's more to his mission and his destiny. Meanwhile, the punker girl reports back to Skullface, who mobilizes his forces. They locate Reese in Zaria, ready to attack. Part 1. The Battle for Osiris. As the thugs surround Zaria, weapons drawn, the inhabitants stand ready to defend their sanctuary. Reese, alongside his new allies, prepares for a battle that will decide the fate of his mission and perhaps the future of Osiris. The clash is violent and bloody, but with Reese's help, they defeat Skullface warriors, restoring calm, if only temporarily. Time passes, and John grows restless. He knows it's time to move on. One morning, he quietly dresses and looks at the beautiful woman beside him before telling the others it is time for him to leave. They all gather outside, forming a path for him, wishing him a safe journey wherever it may take him. The beautiful girl places a colorful, intricate necklace around John's neck. He smiles, and the old shaman watches from afar. John boards a small aircraft he took from the gang of thugs, revs it up, and takes off, zipping into the sky until he disappears. End of Episode 1, The Scorpion. Part 2, Arrival on Planet Zandia. The descent into Zandia is breathtaking. John's craft cuts through the atmosphere, revealing a sprawling metropolis glittering with neon. Flying cars zip through the air like shooting stars. Holograms advertise everything from alien cuisine to high-stakes gambling, and the streets pulse with life. As he lands in a secure docking bay, rain begins to fall, casting a shimmering glow on the streets. John steps out, pulling his hood over his head as he makes his way through the city. The rain-soaked alleys reflect flickering neon signs, one of which reads the dive bar in glowing, erratic letters. The air smells of ozone and oil, and the distant hum of music filters through the night. Pushing open the double doors, John is met with a wave of noise and smoke. Inside, creatures of all shapes and sizes fill the room. A six-armed alien plays a haunting melody on a piano in the corner, its movements hypnotic. The chatter and occasional bursts of laughter create a chaotic symphony. John takes a seat at the bar, ordering a drink. The bartender, a gruff cyborg with glowing red eyes, slides it to him wordlessly. It's here that he catches the eye of Boss Korik. Part 3, The Boss and the Offer. From his corner, Korik watches John with a predator's gaze. His cigar smolders, casting an orange glow on his jagged features. Around him, bodyguards and lackeys hang on his every word. One of Korik's men approaches John, leaning in close. "You're new here, aren't you?" Korik likes to offer opportunities to talented individuals. John glances over at the mutant boss, who raises his glass in a mocking toast. "What kind of opportunity?" John asks, his voice steady. "Work that pays well, if you've got the guts for it." Part 4, Meeting Jill and the Mission Briefing. John agrees to meet Korik, but on his own terms. Korik introduces Jill, a petite yet fierce woman with cyber-enhanced limbs and a sharp tongue. She sizes him up with a skeptical glance. "This is who I'm working with." Jill smirks, folding her arms. "You got a problem with that?" John replies coolly. "Not yet, but don't slow me down. The job is dangerous. Intercept a high-security convoy carrying advanced weapons." Korik makes it clear failure is not an option. Part 5, The Rain-Soaked Heist. Under the cover of a stormy night, John and Jill stake out the convoy's route. Rain pours in sheets, soaking them as they move into position. Jill hacks into the convoy's security systems, her fingers flying across a holographic keypad. Engines disabled. "We've got 2 minutes before they realize what's happening," Jill says. As the convoy grinds to a halt, guards spill out, weapons drawn. John leaps into action, unleashing his hidden power, a transformation from man to half-scorpion. Elongated claws and fingers, and a long tail arch above his head, creeping down like a scorpion's. A surge of energy propels him forward with incredible speed. His razor-sharp nails and tail punches land with bone-crushing force, sending guards flying and dicing them up. "What the hell?" Jill mutters, momentarily stunned as she watches him dismantle the opposition. A guard sneaks up behind her, but before he can strike, John hurls his glowing tail with a blast, killing the attacker instantly. Jill stares at him, wide-eyed. "You can really kick ass." John smirks, helping her to her feet. "You're not so bad yourself." The two work in sync, loading the weapons onto a stolen hover truck. The cargo includes plasma rifles, energy shields, and a prototype weapon that hums ominously. Part 6. High-octane escape as alarms blare. They take off, the hover truck roaring through the rain-soaked city. Drones and security vehicles give chase, firing lasers that light up the night sky. "Hold on," John shouts, veering sharply to avoid a collapsing billboard. Jill leans out of the truck, firing at their pursuers with a stolen plasma rifle. The chase takes them through narrow alleys and over bridges, the truck's hover engine screaming in protest. Finally, John spots an overpass and veers onto it, leading their pursuers into a trap. Jill detonates an EMP grenade, disabling the drones and vehicles in a spectacular burst of light. They arrive at Korik's hideout, drenched but victorious. Part 7. A changing dynamic. Back at the hideout, Korik is pleased. The weapons are delivered, and the payout is generous. But John can't shake the feeling that he's been pulled into something deeper than he anticipated. Jill watches him quietly as they leave. "You're not like the others Korik hires," she says. "And you?" John asks. "Let's just say I've got my reasons," she replies, her voice tinged with mystery. As they walk out into the rain, the city looms around them, a glittering, dangerous labyrinth that promises both fortune and peril. For John, the journey has only just begun.